About what's in store. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started, and I just want to be very transparent. I almost did not do the sofa Saturday for August. I've had a very trying month. God has been working with me. He has been growing me in a lot of different areas of my life, and I really almost did not do this video. I waited to the last minute to shoot, and so I felt like now I was in a place, in the headspace, in a position to actually, you know, record the video for this month. And so there are so many things that has gone on in my life in the past 4 months. For those of you who follow me and who have been keeping up with the Sofa Saturdays, you know, I relocated to Dallas, Texas from Greenville, South Carolina 4 months ago, almost 5 months now. Time flies. And, you know, I just came out here to start anew, to be surrounded by different people, to be in a new atmosphere, new environment, and to just really be able to focus on me and catapult my career. So with that being said, I have grown, and I feel like every day I grow exponentially. God has placed some amazing people in my life. God has shown me who is really for me from relationships that I already had previously that I'm building. And he has removed people from my life and shown me, you know, they can't go where I'm taking you, and that's fine too. And so there's been a lot of growing pains on this journey, and I just wanted to be transparent with you all. I don't want anybody to think I'm perfect or to think that I just have everything together. The only difference between you and I is that I wake up every day and make a conscious decision to do something different, to push forward, to require more of myself, whether I feel like it or not. And now, don't get it twisted. Of course, we all have days. We need our rest. We need our recovery. You need to make sure you're doing that. But for the most part, I get up and push forward, whether I feel like it or not. So I just wanted to share that with y'all before we got started. So make sure, if you have not, head over to www.theauthenticstephaniesterling.com, subscribe so you can stay updated on everything. Y'all, I am launching like 2 new things between the end of the month and the new year. So be on the lookout, because I have some great things in store for the Authentic Stephanie Sterling. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, because I'm trying to tell you, God is really working within me, and I'm so grateful, and I'm so full with his spirit and everything that he has in store. And I just want you to know that there are people who's going to come in your life who's going to try to suck you dry, who's going to come and empty your cup. But let me tell you this, as long as you have God and you have faith in him, no one will ever be able to empty you out, because when I tell you, he will fill you with everything you need. He will. I'm trying to tell you. So let's just dive right in. This month's topic is vulnerability. Ooh, ooh, that's deep, right? So I know for me, being vulnerable for me I always felt like it was a weakness. I didn't want to let people in. And a lot of it probably stemmed from, you know, my father not being there. And I just did not want to allow anybody else to come and steal my joy and my happiness and to let them in. And so I naturally have a guard up. I naturally have a wall up. And it takes some time and consistency and people showing up for me on a consistent basis before I let you in, or I consider you a friend, or people who are not, family by blood, but I consider them my family because we have built that bond. And for me, it takes time. And there's no limit and there's no time span on how long it takes. It's just, a natural progression, right? But for me, being vulnerable to people, I have always felt like was a weakness because, I went through relationships, friendships where I was vulnerable and I gave these people all of me, and I just felt like they took it for granted, that they threw it back in my face, that they stabbed me in the heart, stabbed me in the back. And so after, going through those experiences, you're like, hey, I don't want to be vulnerable. Because what is vulnerability? Vulnerability is being susceptible to pain, susceptible to being hurt by something or someone, right? That's what vulnerability is. And let's be real, no one wants to be vulnerable. No one wants to get hurt. No one wants to feel pain. But honestly, it's a part of life. It propels us to grow, to move to the next level, to elevate. Because let's be honest, if none of us experience pain, we would not grow. Because we will always be comfortable. Oh, this feels good, so let me just stay here. But we need that pain. We need that hurt. Because it's going to push us to the next level where God wants us to be. But only if you allow it. Because there are some and it turns into bitterness. It turns into resentment, unforgiving. There's a other side of that. But if you use it as a strength instead of a weakness, it will elevate you. And I'm speaking from experience. And recently I have learned, and God is teaching me how to learn how to be vulnerable again. Allowing people in my space, building relationships with all these new people that I'm meeting out here in Dallas, Texas. And just seeing people for who they are, because there are some genuinely good people in this world who support you, who believe in you as much as you believe in yourself, and who do not just come to steal, kill, and destroy, as they say in the Bible, because that's the enemy. But everyone is not the enemy, and I'm learning that. And so guess what? I don't have to be so guarded with everybody, because there are some people who are going to be worthy of your gifts, worthy of, because at the end of the day, you are enough. And there are people who recognize and genuinely see that you're enough. So guess what? You're going to have to learn how to be vulnerable again. Use it as your strength. Tap into who you really are, because God has so much in store for you. He really does. And so I am in a beautiful place right now. This week has been beautiful. It has been amazing. And I'm starting to see things through God's eyes on a whole nother level, through His Spirit, the Spirit that He's placed inside of me. And it's just opened my world up. And so I am embracing my vulnerability to those who truly deserve it. And you trust me, you'll be able to tell the difference. You will be able to tell the difference, because people always show you who they are, whether it's through words, actions. But guess what? You have to be paying attention, not with the naked ear, not with the human ear, right? But with the spiritual ear. You have to be able to see with the spiritual eyes. Will miss it. And then that's when we start to say, oh, well, vulnerability is a weakness because I allowed this person to come in and hurt me. I didn't see this. I didn't recognize this. And sometimes, honestly, most of the time we see those things. The red flags are there. But guess what? You ignored it. It's time to stop ignoring the red flags. It's time to do something different. If you want a different result, you have to do something different, and the time is now. Do something different. And right now, time is for us to learn how to be vulnerable again, because let me tell you, that is your strength. Because your vulnerability, my vulnerability, his vulnerability, her vulnerability are all different, because we are created different, right? So I want you to really sit back, let that sink in, think about it, take that information with you, because I've been through so much. But guess what? God is showing me, and he continues to show me, that Stephanie, there are greater things that I have for you, baby girl, but I need you to be open to it. So vulnerability is being susceptible to things, right? And so you have to be vulnerable to really embrace what God is going to have in store for you. Because if you're sitting there and you're like, I want this husband, I want this wife, there are certain things, certain levels I want to reach as far as success and wealth in life. If you are sitting there scared to take risks, if you're sitting there having this guard up, having this wall up, and you're not allowing anybody in, people sense that. People pick up on that. So that husband or wife that you want, they're going to pick up on that you're not vulnerable, or that you're not even willing to give him or her a chance. And guess what? They're going to be gone. And so you're going to be sitting here talking to God and praying like, why haven't I found this husband? Why haven't I found this wife? Well, first off, let's get something straight. Maybe it's just the timing isn't for you right now. God needs you to grow in other areas more before he sends your husband or wife. But the second piece of that is vulnerability. You have to learn how to be vulnerable again. That's the only way. And yes, we're going to have some disappointments. We're going to have some hurts. We're going to have some pains. And it doesn't feel good. I know it personally. But guess what? There is a rainbow at the end of that thunderstorm. There is. And so I want y'all to know that. And I just want you to leave with this thought. If you don't give yourself a chance, what makes you think somebody else should or somebody else will? Reflect on that. Give yourself a chance. You deserve it. You are worth it. You are worth everything and so much more. So make sure you head over to www.theauthenticstephaniesterling.com. Subscribe to the website. If you have not checked out my book, Fabulous Success, be sure to get your copy. Also, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Follow me, subscribe, stay up to date. So many things are going on. Book signings are coming up. New things are launching. I will keep y'all posted on that. And so I'm excited, and I'm excited for you, whatever God has in store for you, whatever your journey is. I'm excited. I may not be sitting there, I may not even know what it is. I don't have to know what it is. But as long as you are working towards your vision and your goals and your dreams, that's all that matters. And so I'm going to leave y'all on that note. Y'all have a beautiful day. Remember, the last Saturday of every month. So I will see y'all again at the end of September. Have a beautiful Saturday.